Are you still tired of your cities feeling repetitive, boring, and highly unoriginal? Don't you hate the fact that all of your residential neighborhoods look like this? Fear not, my friend, as in this video, I'll be giving you 3 more city designs for you to try out. The main goal is not to min-max, and to build something that you can look back on and think, damn, this looks so sick. I'm proud of myself for channeling my gaming addiction into something. One final disclaimer. I do not want to see any comments talking about collision mechanics, one wide tile roads, or the need to build 14-lane mega highways. With that all out of the way, let's begin. With the communist city, if you have a look at any Dondorian city IRL, you can see wide boulevards, straight buildings, L-shaped buildings, C-shaped buildings, and really massive factories. So to start off, I'm gonna go straight into building the boulevards. Try and plan these out in an organized way too, just like the images I've just shown. I try and have a 3 wide road in the middle, with 2 wide decorations on either side, with them being spaced out by 1 tile. After that, I build a 1 wide tile sidewalk and leave 1 tile for space on both sides. For housing, I try and add apartments placed in an L, C, or straight line formation. I try and make these residential blocks look organized too, with repeating patterns and straight lines, the pinnacle of modernist design. Your city will be made up of many of these blocks too, and historically, each of these blocks had their own janitors, hearths, wells, and other services. But for these services, I usually keep them small and, not too dominant. I try and keep them the same size as all the other buildings in that block. Of course, if you also don't like placing down apartments, over here I've used longhouses, although this will take up much more space, so don't expect to make L-shaped buildings with this kind of house. You can also get more creative with housing too. Just make sure all the walls line up and all the roads do too, and you should be good. The main goal is to always have open space in between each building, so keep this in mind. Now, for non-residential buildings, I often make these fill up an entire block length or make them L-shaped as well. But for L-shaped buildings, also make sure to add spaces between buildings. This is where all the goods depots are, where lorries and trucks come in and dump resources and, take them to the front lines. For labs, I've done something a little different over here. As you can see, I've rotated them slightly just to add variety and realism too. And with that, you can LARP as a proletariat powerhouse. On to the next one. Okay, so for this one, it's a lot more space efficient. For the Radial City, you first must build a perimeter around the throne room with dirt roads. The reason you're doing this with dirt roads is so that you don't waste too much time building up everything and your population starves and essentially dies and you have to restart. So that's why I'm doing it with dirt roads. Make sure it's symmetrical too, or it will look weird. You can also make the size of the palace in any dimension you want. Once you've done this, what you want to do is create 4 wide roads aligning perfectly with the center of your city and stretch them out as far as possible into the distance. What you then want to do is build 4 diagonal roads from all of the corners of the perimeter and make sure they're also wide. The main goal is to not build over these roads, so keep this in mind. Okay, once that's done, you can start by placing down housing like this in clusters. Once the first cluster is complete, then build a ring from the edge of the block all around your city and make sure it's the same or a similar width as well from the first road you've built around the perimeter. And whenever your city runs out of space, all you gotta do is build an extra ring. Also add gaps in between buildings sometimes, like benches, wells, and other essential services, so your civilians stay happy. Much like the Roman city in the last video, you might need satellite villages far away from your city so that your city can essentially have room to grow. I'd also place down an area where you can have all your haulers and transports so that, you can have the majority of your industries in this cluster. And for satellite villages, I'd just do the same, but instead of a throne room at the center, I'd instead use one of the roads and place down a large warehouse in the middle, then draw ring roads around it and copy the same kind of language with the buildings. These satellite villages too will also have roads going off in different directions, so keep this in mind. Don't build them too frequently. You can even place thick city walls on the 4th layer to add realism, but this might be complicated to do on diagonal roads, so I'll let you guys figure that out. Finally, we have the merchant city, probably the hardest one on the list to pull off. For this, what you want to do is place down a throne room and build wide roads using the brush tool. I usually do this to connect my throne room to important locations. You can also add more wide roads in the future and late game too, whenever your city grows, but don't make them too frequent. Late medieval cities like Oxford or Edinburgh were an inspiration for this, mostly because the buildings were placed along these wider roads, and at the time there wasn't much city planning, so wherever there was a road it was convenient, and yeah, you kind of get these long ass villages that are popping up in the medieval world. So I don't know, I thought that was interesting. And as you can see in a lot of these villages and cities, all the buildings are placed perpendicular to the road, as if they kind of started out and they needed room to expand, so they kind of added an extension behind the building they already built. So there's the theme we're gonna go with over here. Oh yeah, make sure to space each building one tile apart so that people can get to the other side, and it looks a little bit more immersive like that. And if you connect all of the buildings together, it's just gonna look similar to the medieval city from last time, but this one's a little bit different. At certain population milestones, you can also build fences around what you've already built, just to make it look more realistic. I'd also recommend placing trees and other decorations in any weird small space along the wider roads too, as this looks sick. For this design, I've not made up my mind whether to place buildings perpendicular to the road or not. I've tried this configuration multiple times, but I still haven't pinpointed a preferred way of building these cities yet. So let me know in the comments which style you prefer. One last note is to always keep the wide roads as dirt, and to use the brush tool to paint cobblestone roads everywhere else. This kind of differentiates the higher density areas to the roads where people are going to be traveling, and it was a random thought experiment. I tried it out and it looks sick with this kind of city. For the bonus style, you can also combine elements of the communist city with the Roman city to make something that looks like this. It's really up to you, just make sure you apply similar principles like the use of courtyards, making sure buildings align correct, sometimes adding boulevards. It's really up to you. But with that being said, I hope you guys have found this video very interesting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.